All right. Now, I got a special guest for you today. I'm with my boy Faddah. Say what's up to the people.
Happy New Year, niggas.
Happy New Year's. It's about an hour and a half until the New Year's about to come in for it. But Faddah done brung something to me that I started to look in, and honestly, I wanted to talk about it. I'm not even going to lie. Um, Big. I don't know if y'all into wrestling. Me and Father are really into wrestling. Um, how you feel about Big Swole though, Father?
I like Big Swole. I think Big Swole is like really talented, and like watching her do things at AEW. Like first of all, she had a cool ass theme song. Like she actually had one of the best theme songs as like one of the women talents in AEW. But like her ring presence and her, sorry about that, and her like I don't know, she just had a nice ring presence, and like I liked her. I liked Big Swole, and I also like the fact that she was married to Cedric Alexander. So that was cool.
I'm gonna take your word for it because I'm not gonna lie to you. I didn't see much of Big Swole to give a very distinct. Like I watched AEW, but she was on, and she to me she was on. She was okay, and she went. I'm not gonna like she. Even though she got a interesting physique, I'm not gonna lie. She didn't catch my eyes like a Jade Cargill did, and who is another black wrestler. But she was talking about the lack of diversity, and I know you don't read it, so I'm gonna just ask you what you think about what she was talking about.
So, because she said that there's like a lack of diversity in AEW, which I actually kind of disagree with, because there's superstars like Sunny Kiss, there's Nyla Rose, there's they got Private Party, they got what's his name? He's part of Team Taz, and I'm trying to remember his name. Hobbs, Powerhouse Hobbs, that's his name. They got
Yeah,
a lot of people like in AEW that's like diverse and unique and shit like that, and it's actually a breath of fresh air. So when she said that AEW don't have like a lot of diversity, I was like, I don't know if I can agree with that. But what I can agree with, and the point that she made is that like a lot of the minority people in AEW, like they see, like they get a spotlight, but AEW, because like they have a lot of shows. They have Dark, they have Elevation, they have Rampage, they have Dynamite, right? So they have a lot of like shows, and this year they signed a lot of people because, as you know, WWE was releasing a whole bunch of people. AEW picked up quite a few of them. You know what I'm saying? So
right.
when you have a stacked roster like that, because AEW's roster is stacked as fuck, it can seem like a lot of the talent isn't really getting shown. But I feel like with the type of product that AEW is, like it's not always gonna look like what you want it to be, but at the same time, I can at least acknowledge the fact that they're trying. You feeling what I'm saying? But at the same time, I don't even really think it's like what she wrote and what she said that was really the issue, because she was just speaking on her experiences. Irregardless of whether you agree with it or not, that's her experience. You can't take that away from her. But as I'm sure we're gonna get into more, like what Tony Khan said, his response, that's what messed it all up.
Right. I was just looking at that. Let me try to pick it up because we're
You can still have the tweet if you need it.
if you got it, you can read it because I'm looking
Mm.
for it. Oh, I found it. I
Oh,
found it.
okay. Okay.
Go ahead, read it though. Read it.
No, I don't have it. I don't. I actually don't have it.
Oh, I got it. Okay. The top two AEW execs are Brown, me, and Mega. Jade, Bowens, Caster, Dante, Nyla, Isaiah, and Mark Quinn all won on TV this month. The TBS title tournament has been very diverse. I let Swole's contract expire as I felt her wrestling wasn't good enough. AEW Rampage Street Fight tonight. That's his tweet. Now
Mm.
you had a problem with this tweet. Go ahead.
Yes, I had a problem with this tweet, because why the fuck would you say that when somebody is talking about diversity? Well, what do you mean not diverse? I'm brown. Like, what? What does that got to do with anything? You know what I mean? That's like when black folks, like whenever we trying to talk about shit, and then there's always some random ass like other minority group trying to fucking piggyback off what we doing. They stay doing that shit. Well, I'm brown too. I'm dark skinned too. And, you know, like nigga. You know what I'm saying?
I agree with you. I'm gonna be honest with you though. When she said lack of diversity, I think she meant black. So I feel like if she was like, I'm not gonna say she wasn't bold because I feel like even what she said was truthful yet bold. I feel like she should have just said there's not that much black because I feel like a lot of people, and I was seeing it in the comments. A lot of people are like trying to say that she's not right. They're bringing up Riho, who is Asian, Nyla Rose, who is a person of color and also transgendered, and they bring up other people like Hobbs and all that other stuff. So my thing is, if and even though I watch AEW, I don't watch it as much as you. I will admit that, but it's just that I do feel like what she was really trying to say is there's not enough black wrestlers up in there.
Yeah, that's exactly what she was saying. Cause like even when I was reading the article, she even mentioned about her daughter and how her daughter would tell her there's no one that looks like dad, which is Cedric Alexander, of course. There's no one that looks like dad on AEW. There's no one that looks like you when you was on it and stuff like that. So which is kind of which is kind of like a reach because you know there's Red Velvet again, as you mentioned, there's Jade Cargill, like there's Brandy Rhodes, even though I got beef with her right now for the shit she done said on national live motherfucking TV. But bruh, and you know, I think if I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure Ember Moon might be making a move to AEW soon. I would hope so, because I think you know, despite my beef with Ember Moon and the shit that she pulled a couple years ago, I can at least admit that she's a good wrestler. She does put
Yeah,
on good ass matches.
she does put on good ass matches. I feel the same way you feel about it, but I've always like I don't have that big of a hate as either you or Dion because I was like, yeah, she said some stuff and she should have checked her husband for the whole King of the Black Women shirt and all that other stuff. But I was like, God damn, she put on good matches. I've always said that, and I like her finisher too.
Yeah, and I won't even say that like I hate her. I just really don't like her.
That's fair. That's
You know what
fair.
I'm saying? It still lives a it still leaves a bitter taste in my mouth, and I'm pretty sure she's learned from it. I'm pretty sure people have moved on. Like I'm not like harping on it, but that shit, like you can't really, you know, the type of history that we got, you can't really like get away from that. Like that's always gonna be a stain. You know, like it's a coffee stain on a white shirt. It's just always gonna be there, bro.
Right. I've always said, and I've always said, being black and being a wrestling fan sucks sometimes because because in wrestling, there's especially in wrestling, there's a lot of stuff that we kind of see as racist, or we don't see gimmicks that it represents the worst of the black people. And sometimes we just gotta take that and eat that because we are fans of the sport sometimes, and though it doesn't happen all the time, but when it does happen, it is sort of a big deal.
Yeah, I agree with what you said. Like there's so many instances. Like you remember when fucking Vince McMahon was wearing the do rag? He had that do
Bruh,
rag face.
that shit is
Oh
still cringy to me.
my god! And this, like you said, we had to eat that. You know what
I
I'm
had to
saying?
eat.
Motherfuckers looking at us like, wow, y'all really watching this shit? And I'm like, I promise you, this is not why we watch the motherfucking product. This is just like this is the culture. This is America. This is the shit that they do. You know what I'm saying? They're not doing that shit over in Japan and in Canada and the UK and shit. Them motherfuckers wrestle. You know what I'm
Right,
saying? Especially the Japanese. Every time the Japanese come to America, they always injuring people because them motherfuckers wrestle. Even the people that are damn near 60 years old in Japan have better conditioning than most people who are in their motherfucking 20s.
right.
You know what I'm saying? That's why I watch wrestling, NJPW and Noah and shit like that. I be watching all that shit because I just love the talent. Even when I showed you Oscar before she came to WWE and you were instantly a fan,
Yeah,
like bruh, because these motherfuckers actually put time and effort into their craft and there's a discipline with it. But in America, it's for ratings, it's for views. They're trying to make money off the shit, so it comes across more as cartoony. It doesn't come across as serious. So
yeah. I totally agree with you. Sometimes, even then, like because I know a lot of people, especially when it's a black wrestler like a Mark Henry or Kofi Kingston or Booker T. I know they got to hear the interviews, and it's like anybody that's not a wrestler fan, they go, "Yo, there's not a lot of black champions, black world heavyweight champions or WWE champions," and it's just like, why is that? And it's just like I know half of the answer is just like that is before my time. But it's just like we got him, and I know Booker T and Mark Henry is like I'm a world heavyweight champion. It's like Booker T. It was like when I was at WCW, it's like a 5-time champ, and then I won one at uh in WWE. And even though I say personally, I think he should have beat Triple H. A lot of people thought that. He's like he's had a very profound career and all that and stuff. A lot of people count The Rock. What is it like? We have 4 black champions now, if you're counting The Rock.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, about four black champions. You had Farouk, who Farouk has or Ron Simmons to a lot of people who is respected. And even in the 80s, that man was respected because that boy was, as he would say, unfuckwittable. It's some, sometimes I look at stuff like this and I'm with you. I don't think Tony Khan shouldn't have said all that. It's just like because it does,
Literally.
like you said, it's just like it's cringy. And then, oh, we're black, not we're dark skinned too. We're a person of color and all that other stuff. What about us and all this? When and we know she meant black people. So, and that's the problem I had with Big Swole. I was like, just say black, especially since you
Literally.
don't work there no more. Just say black. It's not enough black people there because. But at the same time, I look at it like this, and I'm not. I'm like in the middle of this. I look at it like this because AEW is a new product. So and they're still trying to me, they're still trying to get their feet wet, even though they've been killing it in the pay-per-view shows and they've been getting like you said, the talent the roster is stacked. So of course you're gonna have to fight for your position, like for Chris Jericho, who is trying to put if he to me, if he does well, the company does well. Then you got well-known names that people want to see, like Bryan Danielson, CM Punk, Sting, Adam Cole, uh, Kyle O'Reilly, and Bobby Fish is just there. Um, I don't want to call him Rusev. What's this?
Miro.
Miro, thank you. Miro is there. These are names, and these are people like, and whether you thought they got short ended, John Moxley, when you thought they got short ended, and you was like, if they go to AEW, they blow up. You're gonna have to fight for them names. Now, Faddah done said the women's division has been weak, in which I looked at it. I agree because even though Britt Baker DMD is doing a phenomenal job, it's just like who do you see? I'm looking at who do you see kind of like taking the belt away from you, and I don't know. She looked like she's going to have a very long reign. I don't know. What do you think?
So yeah, I agree with a lot of what you said. And before I start, I just want to shout out to my boy Malachi Black because that's my boy. You know, that's been my
Oh
boy.
yeah,
You know, ever
Malachi
since
Black. Yeah,
WWE. Like I love that man. He's my favorite AEW superstar right now. But
and he's
um,
killing it over there.
he's fucking killing it. But yeah, to your point about the women, like I feel like it's getting better, but initially it was kind of weak. Especially Riho was the first AEW championship, right?
Right.
And the thing about it is Riho is a phenomenal wrestler, but first of all, that AEW championship looks like a toy. The women's championship, it looks like a toy. It's not serious to
I
me.
agree.
So I feel like the belt in itself needs a redesign, and I'm actually glad that they're doing the TBS Women's Championship because it takes after the TNT Championship, and the TNT Championship actually looks really good. I like how it shimmers with the gold and the silver and the red and shit. Like it's a really nice looking championship, even though it looks corporate as fuck. This is the same criticism that the WWE Championship and the Universal Championships have. They're too corporate looking. They don't look like
Hmm.
actual championships. Bro, you compare that with the NXT UK championships. Those are the prettiest championships I've ever seen in a long ass
Beautiful.
motherfucking time.
Beautiful.
beautiful championships. And then not only that, they actually have prestigious histories because look at the people who have held those titles. NXT UK champion, Pete Dunne. That nigga held it nearly damn near 2 years. Walter beat his record. You know what I'm saying? And that was Ilya Dragunov. And the way Walter lost that championship, he lost that in one of the greatest matches this year. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying? So,
to me, is
I,
best match this year.
bro, NXT UK is absolutely killing it when it comes to that and how much they respect their championship. So I feel like with the women's championship in AEW, like it's a good championship. Don't get me wrong. The women's division is not that bad, but I do feel like it's one of the weaker points of AEW. But with time, it will get better.
You know what? That's how I feel, and I think, like I said, I think Jake, from what I saw, from that battle royale that happened, and I was looking at a lot of, like Scorpio. I think Scorpio Sky. I seen them, and I seen Jay Cargill, and there was someone else that was, I can't remember her name, but she was also black that I looked at. I said, oh, okay, they got some sisters up in there. I
Was it
I'm
Red
looking at
Velvet?
it right now. I feel like the women's division can get better. They have a roster, and like you said, Emma Moon goes over there. I think it's going to be good. I like Mercedes Martinez. I always thought Mercedes Martinez was dope. She's all elite now. I think she's going to have something to give that women's division the push it needs and all that other stuff. Because I think WWE slipped the ball on Mercedes Martinez, but that's just me personally. But I feel like even I don't know. I feel like Big Swole kind of like left too soon. And there was another thing on there that bothered me because she was like, it was something about like, she's not that. I think she was talking about how she wasn't that creative, and other. It's kind of like if closed mouth don't get fed, and if you don't basically do a good promo, you probably get left in the back. To me, that sounds like how old school. Um, that sounds like how basically old school wrestlers, used to do their promos and all that stuff. Basically, you had to be creative. You had to think outside the box to get on. Here you go. My heart stopped being in the reason why I left AEW. I feel like there was a lot of things I told him in my exit interview. There were a lot of things that needs to change. I know fans of the company don't take criticism well, certain ones. No, this is somebody from the inside. The structure is a little off. It's fine to be loose, but I have a little bit more structure. I felt like when women shouldn't have gone through everything they went through just to get on TV or get time. I do agree with this, but like you said, that women's division was kind of weak. You're signed to this big company. You should get the time. All these men are getting time, but the women weren't getting anything. You're not putting on people on TV because more people are coming in. Okay, there are more people coming in, but you don't have enough product for all these people. Now you have all these people sitting around having 2 or 3 minute matches on Dark. Does it keep me happy? Shoveling more money doesn't keep a person happy. We've seen that time and time again, especially in a place where there's not enough space. There's no writers in a sense. Not everyone is comfortable writing their own things. Closed mouth don't get fed. That's exactly what that environment is. If you are shy and don't know how to write or or are not creative, it's not going to work unless they want it to work for you. That's one of the biggest issues. That last part, I felt like that's a you problem. I'm not gonna lie to you. That's you because the shit that they wanted Dean Ambrose to go through, and the shit that Tony Storm went through with that pie in the face, where she's supposed to be taken very serious, and the shit they doing with Rhea Ripley, where she's supposed to be like this badass, and now she's teaming with fucking almost a superhero. You would, I think, and maybe because people like structure and all that stuff, but I'm pretty sure people that didn't want to do those ridiculous gimmicks are like glad. It's like, damn, I'm glad I don't got to do that shit. What you think?
You made a lot of really good points. And but in regards to AEW, I think one of the strongest points is actually the tag team division. AEW has a fantastic fucking tag team division, bro. They got
I
Dexter
agree.
Lomar, they got Private Party, the current champions, the Lucha Brothers. They're fucking killing it. Like I said, Ray Phoenix is not human. That man is not human, bro. The shit that man be doing, he be walking on ropes like it's a motherfucking sidewalk. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
they have a fantastic tag team division. And another thing that I want to like reiterate with another thing that you said is, yeah, it is kind of a her problem because Big Swole is a very talented individual, right?
And I
Like
think she is
I've
too from the
seen,
little I seen. From the little I seen, I
yeah,
think she's talented.
yeah, yeah, like she can work in the ring well, and again, her ring presence is fantastic. But some like because I remember when she was on NXT and she kind of came across as a little bit generic because of the whole big swole thing. Oh, she's just a black woman with big biceps and shit. You know what I'm saying? But
Hmm.
as I like watch her grow, especially coming to AEW when it was first announced, like I've really grown to enjoy what she brings to the table. So I feel like with this particular decision, her leaving AEW, I hope this is a chance for her to really shine as a singles competitor or whatever she wants to do. Because as Big E said earlier, like this is the time for black wrestlers to really show what they about. Big E has been killing it as WWE champion. And me saying that, I also think that it's getting a little bit stale. Like I don't know if you noticed that too about his run right now.
A little bit, yeah, a little bit.
Hmm. Which is not a
But
knock to Big E, of course, because Big E is phenomenal. But sometimes, like when you get the title, like you have to elevate yourself. Like Roman Reigns, he's been a fantastic Universal Championship champion because he's always doing something different, or he's always trying to find a way to make it interesting. Look at the shit that this man has done. He's like first he was beefing with Jay Uso, and like you remember that first match that they had where he literally beat the shit out of him.
yeah, that was a great match. And it told a
Bro, I
story.
loved
It told a
Bro,
story.
I think that was the best ended match of 2021. Jay Uso versus Roman Reigns. I forgot the first match that they had for the Universal Championship. Like that finish where he was just straight up beating this nigga's ass. Like that's some top tier storytelling right there. You know what I'm saying? And of course, that's his cousin, so he's gonna put him on. Now look at him. His name is Main Event Jay. You feel
Right.
what I'm saying? Like when you do shit like that as a champion, you flex how powerful the championship is. Bro, I'm about to like I cannot believe I'm saying this way, but Roman Reigns actually made me care about the Universal Championship. Like what the fuck? Do you remember the shit I was talking about with the Universal Championship? Like when it first came out?
Yeah, you didn't like it. You thought it looked like a toy, and like it was too what's it, corporate. It was too corporate. All that.
Yeah, it was too corporate. Like, bruh, I literally did not care who was Universal Champions. When Seth Rollins was champion, I didn't care. When Kevin Owens was champion, I didn't care. When Brock Lesnar was champion, I really didn't motherfucking care. Like, bruh, it was just a championship like they were just passing around. When like even Goldberg has held the championship. Think about that shit for a second.
Right.
Like, my thing is, what Roman Reigns did with the Universal Championship, that's what makes him such a very powerful fucking superstar in the WWE. You know what I'm saying? That's why he's been winning every single match he's had since 20. So I don't think he's ever been defeated in 2021 actually. You know what I'm saying?
No, maybe a DQ, but he's never been
Yeah.
pinned.
Yeah, he's like never been defeated. You know what I'm saying? So the
Right.
fact that they're really protecting this man, like oh my goodness, Roman Reigns he's the guy right now. He is the guy. And Big E, like the reason why I say it's getting kind of stale is because it doesn't have that same innovation that Roman Reigns did with the championship. Even though Big E puts on fantastic matches, his promo work is fantastic. Like he's killing it as a champion, but you still need to make it like you need to make me care about it. You know what I mean? Because it's just been Big E this entire time. Like I know Big E. We know who Big E is, but like Big E as a champion, it's time to like not step it up, but no. Yeah, sorry, but but I'm saying like Big E, just make it more unique, make it more like bring something else to the table. You know what I'm saying? We know you can defeat these superstars. We know that you're great, but you competing with Roman Reigns right now, Raw versus SmackDown. Like this is where the superstars elevate themselves to put on a good product for the WWE. But because of the shit that they got going on in corporate, these like superstars leaving these companies, like Big Swole leaving AEW and Tony Storm leaving WWE, like it just goes to show you that while we're enjoying, quality entertainment, these people still go through real life shit. You feel me? So, um, I feel like what Big Swole said about her entire situation, I just think it's a fantastic time for her to like grow herself. You know what I'm saying? Do what um who's a good example that I can use? Do what Becky Lynch did.
I was
Because
gonna say Sasha.
um no, I wouldn't really say Sasha. I feel like Sasha always had it, especially in NXT, but I feel like Better Lynch is a better example because there was a time sorry. There was a time where Becky Lynch was kind of like an afterthought, even. You know what I'm saying?
I see what you mean.
And
Yeah. I see where you're going.
then okay. So I lost my train of thought. Hold on. Anyway, so Becky Lynch, right? She was kind of like an afterthought until that shit happened in Survivor Series where Nia Jax broke her nose. That's what fucking elevated her, if you remember. So she was like, that is what made Becky Lynch like the man. Actually, they started calling her the man, especially after she beat Charlotte Flair. She went from like an afterthought, being Charlotte Flair's best friend and shit like that, to look at her now. She's Raw Women's Champion. She's actually never been beaten for the championship. She got pregnant that one time. So, if Big Swole does what she did, like
Yo. Are you there?
hello, hello.
Yo.
All right, where did I drop off at?
Uh,
Jitsi legit kicked me out on the fucking podcast, bro.
about yeah, you was quiet for like 10 seconds. I think you was
What was the last
basically
thing I said?
I think you was concluding your point because you was like if Becky could do it, I'm sure Big Swole could do it. Yeah.
Yeah. Like Big Swole can definitely do what Becky Lynch did. She just needs her moment. You know what I'm saying? I think at the end of the day, she just wants her moment.
Yeah, you know what? I agree with you. You know what? I'm gonna also throw Oscar because there was a point where I thought Oscar was gonna be an afterthought, and then she kind of like turned heel, and then she became like this entertaining as a person in a heel run before she took it from Becky Lynch. There was a yeah, and like during those matches where she had the green mist and she was spitting in people's faces. She she was actually like getting people interested in her, and also was able to show people like, yo, she's a badass wrestler too. So I like you said, Big Swole got the package, and like I said, um, you've seen more than me, so I know she got it. She just just need that opportunity, but also look. If you you gotta like step out. Like even though I like the whole Big Swole gimmick, I know you have to like gotta fight for that position because a lot of people there is going to like basically they want to hit the ground running, and I know you like to a place like that you may not be as creative, but what you have, I feel like you could just bring on there. I mean Daniel Bryan or Brian Danielson. If you kind of look at Brian Danielson, his whole gimmick is I'm a wrestler, but people respect him so much. But is he one of the greatest wrestlers to ever hit the mat? Yeah, but his gimmick is I wouldn't say all that flashy. It's just like you know what he is, you know what he's capable of, and I feel like she could do the same thing, and I'm pretty sure. But like I said, it sucks being a black man and a wrestling fan And even this, I was like, I'm pretty sure she can bounce back. She might go back to NXT the way it might be looking if Cedric can like get him in there. I don't know. Um, any last words you want to say, Father, before I let you go?
Hey yo, it's been a great year for wrestling, and I just hope 2022, we can see some good shit. That's all I gotta say.
I'm the same. Yep, I say the same thing. That's all I gotta say. Father, thank you for joining on this rant. Till then, my name is Oskino Fly, and I'm out. Peace. So I want to touch on this last part about being black and being a wrestling fan. If I repeat myself, I'm sorry. Um, but I want to make sure I get this point across before I forget. Because sometimes, and this is a me problem, when I do put people on, and I make sure they get their stuff, and sometimes I do forget what I need to be putting myself out. That's a me problem. That has nothing to do with father. That is me. But I want to make sure I get this part out. I love wrestling, and I'm pretty sure there's a lot of black people that love wrestling and all that other stuff. And like we did speak about this. Sometimes we do gotta eat shit, but I also want to make sure this last part about Big Swole and like her getting to the career she wants, and this is about anything when it comes to diversity. And I've always said this: I don't want you there because you're black. I want you there because you're good. And I always say this when it comes to anybody. It's just like, how come there's no black people here? How come there's no black person here and all that other stuff? I don't want them there unless they're meant to be there. And I'm with this with not just wrestling, with movies and sports, hell, with doctors, lawyers. Don't just put him in there because he's black. Put him in there because he's good. Because one thing I want people to understand that yes, black people can do these things, but they got to be some of the best players out there. Like I play a lot of fighting games, and some of the best American players they are black. Thankfully, it doesn't matter, one's non-binary or they're black, and when they get on, they whip a lot of people's ass, especially in fighting games where the Japanese, when it comes to street fighting, the Japanese be running shit, and they be demolishing motherfucking Americans, or when it's Tekken and it's the fucking Koreans and sometimes the Japanese, but mostly the Koreans. Yo, when you see a black person like Lil Majin beat JDCR and all that stuff, he was there because he was good. It's the same way. I forgot. I can't remember his name, but he played Abigail. That's just going to escape my mind. But anyway, but you see Punk up there, and sometimes, and am I the biggest fan of Punk? No, but the fact that a brother is up there and he's whipping ass and he's literally neck and neck with some of the best players in Japan or the best players in the world, I like seeing that. I like seeing our people not only go over there and kick ass, but go over there and dominate and do all that. That's why The Rock was so special. As much people don't want to claim, depending on who you are, you claim The Rock and all of that stuff. The Rock was special. Mark Henry, he's the world's strongest man, literally. That man was special. Booker T, that man was special. Kofi Kingston, that man was special. All right. When he got that WWE Championship, that brought a tear in my eye. And I'm not gonna lie, that shit made me like bring a tear in my eye because I thought he was well deserving. And anybody that's watched wrestling know he was well deserving. Big E, we all knew he was next in line. That's why I love the New Day. And even Xavier Woods, him winning the King of the Ring, I'm happy for him. And tell you the truth, that's what he wanted. Now, whether they give it to him or not, I'm glad he won it. He got it. So, and the King Woods thing, he's been running with it. I think it's been fun. That's why I like seeing the New Day together. And to me, it's just like, I know some people are tired of the New Day. Maybe they should do their own thing. Nah, I like them together. I've always said I don't want them. It's like Ron Simmons, phenomenal wrestler and all that stuff. Like I said, unfuckwittable. These are legends in the game. Junkyard Dog. You had your Junkyard Dogs. your Kamalas, all these people. Um, I'm like Ahmed Johnson is like the one out of one wrestler like that no one liked. Not even black people. Black people didn't like him either. All right, he was just not like with D'Lo Brown. We still talk about D'Lo Brown and him like coming up there with the neck thing and all that other stuff. Uh, is it Jackie? Jackie, yeah. When she used to run with APA, and anybody know Jackie, she was a tough. That was a tough. Everybody said she's one of the toughest women in there, and he said she'll fight men, and she will whip men's ass and all that other stuff. Jackie was really strong and all that other stuff, and so was Jazz. If anybody remember Jazz as a wrestling fan, I like seeing stuff like that. I like seeing our people prosper. I like seeing our people do shit. I like seeing our people when we get there, we dominate and we show people why we're not. I thought Hit Row was gonna be something special, but but I feel like that's just a Vince thing. That's probably a Vince thing, which is another reason. And I think that was a whole NXT thing because a lot of NXT wrestlers got moved. Um, shit. So, who else? I love Alicia Fox. I know a lot of people look at her as goofy, but I also said that girl, she has one of the cleanest moonlight. I think it was suplex. She basically got a suplex that I think that only she can do, and it's beautiful when she do it. She got the arch and everything. Naomi, y'all know I love me some Naomi. I love my brother, as much as my brother Faddah loves himself some Sasha Banks, I love me some Naomi. I love Naomi. All right? I always thought she was special and all that stuff. And I like a lot of these people. I feel like they do stuff. And like I said, when Naomi won the women's championship, I was happy for her because I thought she deserved it. She's very athletic. Anybody knows Naomi, she's very fucking athletic. And I know there's a lot of people with, like I said, the women in AEW, the black women in AEW. I'm pretty sure when they get their chance, they'll dominate. So I do feel like, look, and I'm going to just leave it at this. And I said this before, I'll say it again. AEW's new. All right? Let them get their feet on the ground. Let them, they're trying to battle rank for rank. But the people that, they bring in, like the Chris Jerichos, the Bryan Danielsons, the Adam Coles and all that other stuff, people want to see them. All right? And as good as a wrestler you are, you're not, and anybody could tell you, black or white, you're not going to overshadow, you're not going to be bigger than CM Punk in Chicago. Sorry, boo-boo. And you, like I said, you're probably great at what you do, but you're not going to overshadow CM Punk in Chicago. If they go to Seattle, Washington, you're not gonna be bigger than Bryan Danielson. All right, hell, even in WWE, you're not gonna be bigger than Sasha Banks in Boston, because that's where she's from. It's just some things that you're just not gonna beat. But those people, and I say this all the time, this is why I like wrestling. It's a team thing, even on and in and out of the ring. It's a team effort. If they do good, you can do good. But you got to find your niche where you got to be creative, or like you said, closed mouth don't get fed. That's a you problem. You got to be the one to be like, all right, what can I do to make my gimmick a little bit better to where I stand out and I'm getting the looks now. All right, and I hope you do find that in whatever company you go in. But this has looked bad. I'm gonna say this, Tony Khan, you should have just kept your mouth shut. And all that other stuff. It looks bad because black people going to know. And the next time, and I say this for any black person, if you're going to say lack of diversity and you mean black, just say black. Yes, I understand there are black wrestlers in AEW, and some of them are very good. But let's be but unless they're getting an unfair shake, let them earn their spot. I feel like a lot of them will earn their spot. And that's where I'm going to end it. Till then, my name is Oskito Fly, and I'm out. Peace.